はい、皆さんこんにちは、ニルダです。それではディスコエリジウム続きをやっていきましょう。前回は労働組合の、会長であるイブラートからいろいろ話を聞きました。それで前回の動画の後にいろいろやってみたんですけれども、裏庭の死体を下ろすためには、今のところやはりイブラートに協力を要請するしかちょっと方法が、見つからなかったんですね。本当にね、イブラートに頼むのはちょっと不本意なんですけどね。
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
はいはいはい。木から死体を下ろすのを手伝ってくれないかと、この選択肢ですね。
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
まあそう言うとは思ったけどね。
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the union had something to do with the murder.
まあいいね。キムいいとこつくね。
Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
そうだよね。あんなものがあったらあの辺の土地の価格とか下がっちゃうもんね。これかな。それと現場に残された足跡も、検証済みだ。あれはワークブーツなどに違いないと。
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
まあそうだよね。まあこれは方便かもしんないけど、それで
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
はいはい。
Jean-Luc,The cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy.
わかった。ジャン・ルークってさ、これはあれか、メジャーヘッドの名前なのかな？この名前ってフランス人の名前だよね、ジャン・ルックって。それで、はい。
You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway,He's going to help you. Now that he's back on his feet.
メジャーヘッドがあれか、死体を下ろしてくれんのか。わかった。
See you soon, Debarder.
はいはいはい。じゃあメジャーヘッドのとこまで戻ってみようか。もう意識取り戻したのかな。前回ね、主人公が回し蹴りで、気絶させたんですよね。それじゃあメジャーヘッドのところに戻ってきたんだけど、なんだっけ、前回イブラートにもらったキーで、警備員室みたいなところ開けることができたんで、戻ってくれたんだけど、メジャーヘッドやっと目を覚ましたみたいだね。じゃあ話しかけてみよう。
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
負け惜しみか？負け惜しみを言ってるのか？俺はマーシャルアーツの神のごとくあんたを打ち負かしてみせたんだぞ。
True. I said nothing about our personal dynamic. That has altered a little.
これ負けの遠吠えにしか聞こえないんだけど。
He means very little.
そしたらね、これじゃなくて、これか、死体を木から下ろすのをお前が手伝えとイブラートが言っていたぞと。
So it was.You bested me in race combat to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, enemy. I will go and remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
まあお願いしますよ。
You're so noble, Measurehead.
取り巻きはちょっと黙っててほしいな。
But...While I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
なんでよ、なんでメジャーヘッドの代わりをしなくちゃいけないのよ。
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the union.
やだ、そんな。やだ、そんなの。別に組合側の味方になったわけじゃないよ。そうね。キムに聞いてみようか。この提案を飲めないとしたらどうするキム？
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
マジか。 やっぱりあの時に主人公がヘマしなければな、こんなやつに頼むことなかったのに。
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
うん。しょうがない。まあこれ以外方法がないんだったらね。待って、そんなことをしたら俺たちが組合の指図を受けていると公表するようなものじゃないか。
Yes, that is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen any other way.
悔しい、めっちゃ悔しい。あの時にな、銃当ててればな。ああ、しょうがない。でもね、しょうがないよね。そういうことなら仕方がない。メジャーヘッドはこの場を離れている間、ここで待機する。
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
はいはい。
So, you guys are like cops or something?
うん。警察だけど。俺たちはこの辺りの方だ。
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
うん。カーチャさん。
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
なんだちょっと待って、何を破壊したんだああ、怖いんだけど。どうやって下ろしたのかなあの死体。
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
私も見てみたかったな。俺も見てみたかった。
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Evrot's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
くそ、そう言われるよな。
Spoken by a mercenary pretending to be a worker.
労働者のふりをした傭兵ね。お前だって労働者のふりをした傭兵だろうって言い返してやりたいんだけど。あんたには関係のない話だ。
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
戻ってきた戻ってきた。てか、あそこ、庭には食うのがいるよね。
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
じゃあ一応メジャーヘッドが下ろしてくれたみたいなんで、誰の味方になったつもりはない、秩序を保つために必要なことをしたまでだと。
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
嫌だ、そんなの。組合の仲間になった覚えないよ。全力で否定していくよ。それじゃあ、なんだっけ、死体のところか。裏庭の死体のところに戻っていこうかね。あ、そういえばあれだよね、鍵をなんか受け取ってくれって言われたんだよね、ブラートに。この人から。
So, how'd you like our harbor?
全くもって話にならん。
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
はいはい。あんたがあるドアの鍵を持っているとイブラートから聞いてきた。
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
イブラートのなんかお使いするのやだけどさ。あんたに教えてもらえるつもりでいたんだが。
Of course. I got you. You don't know anything.
マニャーナもやっぱり教えてくれないか。
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
くそ、なんか、ほんと頭にくる。もう、イブラートの仲間になりたくない。 そうだね。これかな。別に政治的な理由があってやってるわけじゃない。
Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it, I get it. I like to keep my distance too. But it doesn't matter. It's a good thing you're doing.
はい。
Hey, what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whaling and rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
このタスクについて他に俺が知っておくべきことはあるか、そのネズミがいつ頃帰宅するのかとか。
I'm more of a philosophical dog worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
Who he is and what they're fighting for? This is interesting.
マニャーナはなんでストライキをやってるんだ？
We're negotiating our share.
取り分。
Aye.
待ってよ。じゃあ賃金とか年金とかそういう話じゃないのか。
This stuff, they already covered.
あ、そうなんだ。一応恩恵を得られているなら何もないよりマシだろう。
It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place.
取り分がどれくらいになればいいんだ？
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
やっぱりか、港湾労働者全員が役員会に入りたいっていう、主張なんだね。大体のことは分かって他のことについて聞かせてくれ。まあいいや、鍵はとりあえず手に入ったから。じゃあこれで死体のとこに行ってみるか。それじゃあどうなってるかな。あ、ちょっと待ってよ、これ。どうやって下ろしたのかと思ったらさ、枝ごと折れてるんだけど、ここ。死体が吊られてた枝ごと落ちてる。どんな方法使ったんだ、マジで。ほんと怖いわ、メジャーヘッド怖いわ。食うのはあれか。石投げの的がなくなっちゃったから、ここで何いじけてんの？どうしようかな。ちょっとクノに話聞いてみようか。
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
なんかそのようだね。
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
俺も一緒に見物したかったな。さて、いくつか聞きたいことがある。
Shoot that shit at Kuno, piggo not!
あ、そうか。マニャーナとアーマーについて話した。
So?
彼はお前に感動していた。あのアーマーを追跡するのはあまり気が進まなかったらしい。
Fuck? Okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
珍しく困惑してるよ。
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jella!
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on.
Good idea.
このことは忘れないからな、クーノ。
You got fucked. You got fucked, pig.
はいはい。
After this shit, you better have something real.
Yeah, real interesting!
よし。
Kuno doesn't.
まあ、クーノにまた文句言われたんだけど、それじゃあ死体だね。ちょっと待って、セーブさせて。じゃあどうなるかな。
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
もうさ、死体ボロボロだね。なんかさ、主人公になんだっけ、銃で腹を撃たれてさ、今度は木の枝ごとさ、落とされてさ、もう現場保存どころじゃないよね。なんなんだこの美しいって。目から溢れる涙を拭う。私もなんか泣きたいよ、もういろいろあってさ。
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
破壊も損傷もそれほどひどくない。そうか、もう相当だと思うんだけど。じゃあこれか。
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We're on number 3.
わかった。じゃあやってみよ
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
う。でもさ、こういうことに関しては素人では他に誰か呼ばないのか、医者とか。
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything.
そうなんだ。まるで自分が刑事みたいな気分になってきた。
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now,
はい。
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
そういう知識があるのかな、キムは。その検証するだけの知識が。その前に、これ現場検視って読めばいいんだよね。その前に現場検視ってのは何なんだ？
come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
主人公覚えてないしな。手袋をした手を打ち鳴らす。手を突っ込むとするか。やだ、手突っ込むの？
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
あ、そうなの？了解だ。
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
その方がいいかもね。これを埋めていけばいいのか。記録簿にある、現場検視記録用と書かれたピンク色の用紙をキムに見せる。
That's right.
じゃあ、それじゃあ、死体からブーツを脱がせるか試す。
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
あ、ダメ。じゃあ、キムがいないところであれか。試せないとダメだね。そしたら、記録簿の現場検視のページを開く。
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts.
はいはい。
Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
じゃあ、検視を始める。1、アシスタント。
That's you.
じゃあ、ハリー・デュボアと書く。
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
殺人事件番号。
KK57-0803.0815.
はいはい。
Next,
名前。
we've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down.
はい。じゃあ、レディと書く。
What's next? Date of birth?
そう。
NA.
年齢は、
Roughly 50.
じゃあ、50歳前後と書く。
the corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
まあ、ジョイスさんの話だと、40代から50代ぐらいって言ってたもんね。
Teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
もうすごい臭そうだよね。じゃあ人種。
Mondial.
ムンディー人。書き込む。
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
はいはい。じゃあ性別。
Fucky fucky!
言うと思った。
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
そしたらちょっと待って。そしたらね。まあいいや、じゃあ1番ね。
Naively, the lieutenant does not double-check your notes.
後でバレたら怒られそう。死亡日時。
We're still going with March 4th. 51.
これか。51年3月4日。
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable.
はい。
KK57 0503 0815 listens motionless
はい。
with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
じゃあ死後の、干渉形跡。これあれじゃない？主人公が銃で穴開けたとか、そういうやつ？
None. at least not after the initial examination.
死後の干渉ってのは具体的にどういうものなんだ？
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed.
なんでキムに権威を振るわないといけないんだよ。
Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
そうね。確証はない。足跡は彼が運ばれたことを示唆していたはずだ。
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dog walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites.
はいはい。
It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbat puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There is darkness in the shed.
はいはい。これはあれかな、遺体に敬意を払ってんのかな。
Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide. The other, an accident. The small one.
今の話がなんか関係あるのかな。
And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today. 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
Hmm. じゃあページをめくる。
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
はい。じゃあやるか。外部検査、概要。
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
はい。
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
で、何を期待してたんだろうね。書き込む。
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
はい。まあ、ブーツのこと言いたいけど、多分ダメってパッと言われるから、とりあえず書き込んどくか。
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
はい。
Tattoos.
タトゥーね。
The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart.
はいはい。
The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini.
そうだね。
The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing.
結構死体、腐敗が進んでたけど、それでも、保存状態良かったのかね。寒かったおかげで。
The spine is bent more than the lieutenant compensated for. This buster's actual height is about 1.85. And no, you could not take him straight on.
185センチと書くことにするよ、キム。
Of course, I undercompensated.
うん。
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
うんうん。少しあれか髪の毛が後退してきてたのかな。それで、次に進む前に死体の髪に触れる。
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
なんでこれ髪を撫でなくちゃいけないんだろうね。ちょっと気持ち悪いかもしれない。これ彼の髪を撫でる。
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head.
おお。死体を撫で続ける。ちょっとやばい人かも。
More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape.
頭蓋骨に複数の凹凸。なんだろう。
There, dead man. You were someone's child. It's all over now.
よしよし、いい子だ。
The lieutenant watches you in silence.
もう絶対キムはもうあれだ、主人公のことをこれどうかしちゃったかなと思ってるよ。単発明るい茶色、男性系脱毛症と書く。
That was some sick shit, Sekopa.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity.
まあ、透析はあれだね、空のだね。
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Talking shit.
はいはい。
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
野生動物がつついたか。書き込む。
Ligature mark.
キムは小さな折りたたみナイフを取り出す。片手でベルトを引っ張りながらポリエステル製の表面にナイフを入れていく。凄まじい腐臭が立つ。しばらくしてこのベルトはナイフでは切れないことが明らかになると。
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
あれペンチ持ってるよ。
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
よし。じゃあチェーンカッターね。
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
任しとけ。
See, my.
No, he ain't. You pig's a boring fuck.
ベルトを切断する。92だったら大丈夫でしょ。
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
はいはい。
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
あ、そうだよね。首の前側だけに跡がつくんだろうね。きっと後ろ側は跡はつかないで。それで
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
はい。書き込む。
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia.
おう。死んだ男の下着を下ろすと。
No! Let's get
う
out
るさ
and
い
see!
お前はうるさい。
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
まあ淡々とやってるね、キムはね。
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
どうしよう。あんまり押したくないんだけど。じゃあ1番ね。観察する。
The dead man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish, Marbling is present around the crotch.
はい。まあ、詳細な描写ありがとうってとこかな。
You should touch it.
やめろ。ちょっと待ってやめろ。なんでだよ。もう電気科学のこのチェック成功してほしくなかったんだけど。しょうがないな。じゃあ触ってみる。
Doesn't feel like anything. A cold spot under your gardening gloves. Unremarkable and unalive.
うん。むしろ何かの感想が浮かんだら怖いんだけど。
My pig's so.
はいはい。
Your pigs.
This wasn't necessary. What's going on here? Why are you doing that?
それはだって電気科学が触れって言ったから触ったんだけど。うん。実験では何が起こるか調べてる。
The lieutenant is unaware of what's happening in your head and why you're touching it. He merely expects you to write down his notes on the man's genitalia so you can move on.
そうだよね。私もそう思うよ。キムに同感だよ、全くさ。ね。じゃあ書き込んで次に進む。
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are all combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip. Before you is a temple of pain that knew little tenderness in life.
まあそうだろうね。だってあれでしょ、傭兵だったんだもんね、この死んだ人。
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
これは兵士の傭兵の体だな。
We have a real museum here.
そうだね。
Battles, wars.
そうね。書き込む。
Last item, hands.
死体の手を持ち上げる。
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name?
また死体が語りかけてきたね。俺の名前は。
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo de Cappadocia?
なんかいろいろこう、あるけど、とりあえず一個ずつやっていくか。こちらこそ光栄だ。教えてくれ。あんたは痛みの神殿であり、優しさを知らぬものなのか。
You get me, Kobo. I feel like you were once for tenderness and kisses yourself, but then shit went south and now you're ahead of even me on the pain front.
状況が悪化して、今じゃ痛みに関して俺すらも凌駕してるってどういうことだ？
We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
これどういうこと？
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
抵抗した跡がないってどういうこと？抵抗した跡を探していたのか。
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
キムもあれ、アンモニア使う？相当臭いんだな。じゃあ次ね。内部検査、概要。
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
もし俺がこの物語に教訓を見出すとしたら。
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
脳は血液が足りないとダメになるだ。これどういうことだい？
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
この欄は不明と書くよ。
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
はい。
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
いや、なんかもうその場を想像するだけで気持ち悪くなってきた。
You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, Jack that!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable.
なんで舌骨だけ砕けてんの？他のとこは無傷か。
Respiratory system.
キムは再び背中を曲げ、祈るような姿勢で死体の上下の顎をこじ開けにかかる。力がいると気づいて一度手を止め、両手を使って再開する。
He's really doing it. The dead man's teeth cut into his gloved hands.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
はい。死体の口の中を見る。
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again. Straight in that mouth of his.
やめろ。死体の口にぶちまけるな。やめてくれ。
No, you don't. You can keep it in. You can keep anything in.
ここで吐かれたら最悪だろう。もっと奥を覗いてみる。
You manage to suppress the contractions trying to enter your stomach. All it takes is concentration. Through it, you see nothing but darkness. More meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
何？
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
そう繰り返し、キムがせかす。彼が死体の口から手を離すと、あなたの目の前で顎が勢いよく閉じると。
Hepatobiliary. NA.
いいのか簡単に素通りして。
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
いや。
Neither am I.
なら不明だな。
That's it. Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
両方とも？
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
完璧主義の俺としてはまだできることがあると思うんだが。
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
はいはい。
Brimming with cocaine.
読んでないよ、電気科学は。不明、毒物検査依頼と書き込む。
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits lividity in the lower extremities, feet, hands, and neck. Visually consistent with the hanging.
はい。
Gastrointestinal.
キムは検視の進み具合に安堵して地面に横たわる厄介な物体に向かってため息を漏らす。これがリストの最後の記入欄だ。
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voilà.
じゃあそうね。一丁上がりも含めて書き込む。
What's next on the list?
じゃあ最後これ。外傷状況、概要。
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fills. Leave a fourth one too.
俺たちがつけた傷はどうなる？ねえ、胸かなんかに穴開けたけど。
Oh, so we inflicted them?
そうだよ。これはチームだもん。これはチームの責任だ。
You mean the spin-stabilized munition from a kill A990 muzzleloader lodged in his lung?
そうそうそう、それよ。
That was not a team effort. I just missed my shot. Also, let's not mention it. Muddies the water.
そうなのね。これについては黙っとくと。同感だ。もう現場は、十分混乱してるからなと。
See? These pigs are fucked.
Why don't you
Now, injuries.
じゃあ紙傷から見てみよう。
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
はい。じゃああれか、鳥につつかれたのね。
And your opinion, officer?
そうね。致命傷ではない死後の損傷。
Agreed. Next injury?
打撲傷。
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
うん。まあ来るのだね。
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
うん。
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
うん。まあ小石投げたのも別にね、致命傷ではないよね。
Right. Next.
じゃあ次は、これか。これなんて読むんだ？索条痕って読むのかな？検視を終えると。
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact.
うん。鉄骨は砕けてる。
I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter.
うん。
No signs of clawing on the neck.
もがいて首を引っかいた形跡がないってなんかおかしいよね。
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
うん。
What was that about no clawing around the neck? You'd be clawing for your life.
うん。だよね。首をつられたら普通はこの紐をさ、外そうってこうもがくよね、普通だったら。その引っ掛け傷がないってのはおかしいね。致命傷ではない死後の損傷。おい、何？
He is deep in thought, eyes fixed on the bright red ring around the dead man's neck.
うん。
A column of cold air encircles you, rising slowly upward in the shape of a courtyard, bordered by cracked plaster, windows, seagulls perched on air conditioning, a small green enclosure in the middle of a corral of tenements, Cape-side apartments, whirling in rags and the fortress wall of Terminal B. Higher yet, coalition airships guard over the 21 cordons of the zone of control. The air is crisscrossed with radio transmissions. The hair on your neck rises.
はいはい。俺は正しかったのか？
You were.
お、なんだ？女性の声か？正しかった。本当に？
Why do you say that?
俺は本気なこの外傷が彼の死因とは思えない。
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
2番かな。なぜ被害者は吊るされた時に首をかきむしらなかった？そして彼らはなぜ被害者の両手を縛っていない？こういう大男は縛らないと危険だろう。だよね。まあ被害者はさ、まあ経験豊富な傭兵だったんだもんね。何かしらこうね、縛ったりとかするはずだよね。
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrists. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right. There should be signs of struggle. Let's leave the cause of death empty for the time being.
わかった。キムもやっぱりさすがにこれ臭いんだね。
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
はい。その前に、検視の成果はあったか？
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success.
死因の特定ができなかったね。
We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I would not hold my breath.
他には？
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
あ、そう。
Oh yeah. Well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is
ま
in
た出て
order?
きた。一杯やってもいいか、この後でって意味だが。
Now, you see, that worries me. You will die if you drink. You know that, don't you? You are proving a useful detective. The organization would miss you.
飲んじゃダメだと。わかった。
Please get yourself together. The lieutenant from Precinct 57 thinks.
そうだね。じゃあ次は何を？
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
はいはい。用紙の下の複写紙を切り取って渡す。
For processing.
キムは死んだ男を今一度見つめると、手に持ったピンク色の用紙を確認し、再び死体を眺めると。
He's thinking, did I miss something?
なんかね、見落としてる気がするんだよ
You
ね。
tilt your head, also looking at the corpse.
チェックが出たね。42%。厳しいな。有力な死因が見たくて、そうなんだよね。やるか、やってみるか。
Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
なんだろう。これはなんだ
？His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
そうね。これちょっと待って。彼の鼻の穴に入り進むってどういうこと？
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in.
指ね。指突っ込むの？鼻の穴に指を突っ込む。
Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage.
The fuck is he doing?
The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
はいはい。彼の口の中に指を入れる。うわぁ。本当に入れてるよ。
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track.
本当に？舌を持って遊ぶ。これが正解だと感じる。
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth.
で、奥には？
Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
何？目を開けて中を覗く。
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate.
何があった？
You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened.
なんだろう。なんだろう。見つけたぜという。
Keep going.
Kuno nods, too. He takes a step closer.
みんな興味津々だな。指でそっと重曹に触れる。
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
指を中に入れる。
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
うわ
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
そうね、やばいね。脳幹とは。
Yes, that's what this part is called. You've seen the drawings. You've studied them.
まず中を探ってみる。
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake. The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark. Forever.
はい。指を奥に押し込むって、主人公どんだけ奥に指突っ込んでんだろう。
Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
中に空洞がある。半球のちょうど真ん中だと。
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Quivering with awe.
珍しいね、食うのが。さらに奥に押し込む。
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him.
なんだ？死体の口の中に穴を開ける。
The cartridge gives in with a crack,
嫌な
like
音
some
がし
fruit.
た。
Just like that, your hand is in his head. Strange fluid streams down your wrist, and then you feel it with the tip of your finger.
これかなりグロテスクなんだけど大丈夫これ。
Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
何があったの？
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
あ、83か。なかなかいいんだよ。中に固形物がある。頭蓋骨のすぐ内側だと。
Can you get to it?
先に頭蓋骨を調べる。
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it from the inside.
はい。
The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
多分あれなんだろうね。銃の弾が多分頭の中に残ってんだろうね。
Forget about the fucking exit wound, Beano. The pig is wearing him like a fuck puppet.
よかった。これ、あれか。調査したことで確率が上がったね。92% か。その物体をつまみ出す。よし。何が出てきた？銃弾でしょ。銃弾
You
じゃない？
pick the object between your index and middle finger. Feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just...
捕まえた後ささやく。
My pig's fucking got it.
He's watching his old man get the big prize at the claw game.
What? What is it?
ゆっくりと指を引き抜く。
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
おう。
Fucking beautiful.
A bullet.
やっぱ銃弾だったか。多分これが死因だろうな。袋の中に落とす。
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifled. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
これが死因だね。多分ライフルで頭撃たれて、弾が頭の中に残ってたんだね。で死んだ後に、ここから通されたんでしょう。俺が預かっていいか。
Of course. You deserve it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate. Back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
いいんじゃない？天にも昇る表現だ。
Opinion. Fatal injury.
これが致命傷でしょう。同感だ。
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
そうね。死後の損傷、干渉ありってことになるよね。
he's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
そうだと思う。死後干渉。
Treatment, officer, is an attempt to manipulate the body after death, to hide the real cause with a false cause. In this case, this injury here.
索状痕も砕けた舌骨もすべて死後干渉だ。
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
そうね。そう思うか。
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
いいね、いいね、いい感じだね。
We didn't fall for it, he thinks. There's pride in there.
そうね。どうして犯人はこんなことをする
To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here?
犯人は誰だ
That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier.
少し前進したね、やっと事件が、捜査がね。俺は体を洗わなきゃダメだと思う。
Oh, you really, really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom.
そうだ
Be
ね。
sure to make use of it in the evening.
じゃあ今夜はちゃんとお風呂入るよ。銃弾が答えを教えてくれるかもしれない。
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
そうだね。ライフル銃から発射されたものか。じゃあ次はどうする
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
ああ、そうなの単独行動。その間、俺は何をすればいい
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
Thank you.
The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective.
なんかやっと刑事らしいことしたんじゃないねえ。
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
あ、そうなのどうしようかな。もうブーツ欲しいんですよね。ここ下へ持ってかれちゃうと多分ブーツもなくなっちゃうよね。ちょっと待って。これはじゃあ気分はとりあえずまだ一緒に行動してもらおう。よし。まあ死体もまた後でいいと。とりあえずそしたらまあ死体も下ろせたし、まあ死因も分かったってとこだよね。それじゃあ時間も長くなってきてしまったんで、今回ここで終了したいと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。また次回もよろしくお願いします。